really like small ball really lets you guys click. On the other hand, that's pretty physically taxing. How are you feeling about the situation of playing Fate?
It is what it is. It's what we have available, and you can kind of nitpick or like circle certain stretches of games where it seems like we're tired, or games where small ball does play to our advantage. Look at our full body of work. It's again, it is what it is, and we have to find ways to win. So tonight was a tough one. They made plays. I got cold in the second or third and fourth quarter. Got some pretty good looks, and that kind of make or miss situation just went in their favor tonight. So, it would have been nice to finish off the road trip with a win, but we got to rejuvenate and overcome that short rotation for Thursday, because it's going to be the same thing.
Was this a game where you guys were tired?
I wasn't. I mean, it's a back-to-back, so you got to keep that in mind too. Like everybody, same guys on the other side played the same minutes, last night, and that can't be an excuse at all.
You like where you guys are right now, 6 games left, and all at home, and you've been around long enough to kind of have a sense of where a team is. Do you think you guys are in a good spot?
Yeah, we're in a good spot considering how the road trip started. So we've had 2 good nights. Tonight was a pretty solid night. We just lost at the end. I keep our spirits high. 6 games at home to finish the season is nice. That is kind of a trap, though, where you can let your foot off the gas pedal because you're comfortable being at home. We're seeing our families. You're in familiar, territory. You got to stay locked in mentally on the task at hand to finish out the season strong. So, I enjoy being back in the Bay and sleeping in our own beds. But 6 games at home, it's not just because we're at Chase and because we now have fans back that we can just show up and win. We talked about that before too. So, got to stay locked in mentally, take advantage of the schedule, and finish the season strong.
You mentioned the short rotation. You guys do have a couple empty roster spots. Would you like to see, some added reinforcements potentially?
If it makes sense and it can help us, absolutely.
On that clear path foul that Draymond got, he found a way to stop Zion and ended up with Zion trucking him. How do you feel about what Draymond is giving you guys physically right now?
His spirit is phenomenal right now. He's competitive. He's got a fire about him. I think he's enjoying the shape that he's in and how much work has gone into his body from the beginning of the season with missing part of training camp and all that. So it's been a slow build, or as IT would say, a slow grind to get to where he's at right now. And I know he's enjoying just the way he's feeling and his impact on the game, and we feed off of that. So especially with a shorthanded roster and undersized, he's playing way beyond his frame. We appreciate that.
Steph, I'm just curious if that's the first time in your career a team has knocked the lights out to try and slow you down a little bit.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that one before. They tried to get me saying I shot it before the lights went out, but yeah. It's a weird situation because we were flowing a little bit, and I guess kind of after that, it's kind of a rough offensive situation, but tough game all the way around.
And how much of an impact do you think that little stoppage for a couple minutes had down the stretch?
It's hard to say, but it wasn't as long as that one that happened in the Super Bowl that one year. But it was kind of weird just in general. But it is what it is.
You didn't get as many wins as you didn't get as many wins as you wanted on this trip. But how would you basically sum up this road trip?
dropped the ball in Minnesota, answered the bell in Houston, winning the game we're supposed to win. Came here, played probably our best game in a while, last night. 36, 42 minutes, and tonight we were pretty rock solid and just lost it down the stretch. So 2-2 it's okay. It's not what we expected, but I just like the vibe that we have now in terms of how we're trying to win and how we're trying to play and the intensity that we're trying to come with every single night, knowing that we're slowly getting closer and closer to the games that really matter.
Steph, James Hill with BNC Sports. Yourself, along with Wiggins, you guys combined for 63. Can you just talk a little bit about Wiggs and he's able to help score and in the 1-2 punch?
He's been really aggressive and assertive the last 3 games, and we love that. We're hyping him up. He's capable to get buckets on anybody, and if he has that kind of score first mentality and takes advantage of those opportunities, it helps everybody and it keeps us all engaged. So want him to keep doing that, want him to keep being assertive and aggressive, shooting the 3 ball, getting the paint. He's playmaking a little bit. So I like the confidence he's playing with. We definitely need it.
So being an NBA veteran, how, just looking back on this year, how tough was this season for you personally?
I mean, it's challenging in the sense that we're trying to build, chemistry with a brand new team and a lot of young guys and new faces, but the inconsistencies have been tough to deal with, just because of the fluctuations with our roster and injuries and all that. But honestly, like the condensed schedule it's been tough, and you got to really stay locked in physically and mentally to get through it. And like I said, everybody's playing the same schedule, so that is what it is. But winning basketball games is hard, whether you get the job done or not. We put out the same effort last night that we do in years past. It's just you want better results, so that's the mental part that you got to kind of handle and master throughout this season. But I don't feel like it's any harder than any other season. It's just there's different circumstances and different challenges that present themselves, and you got to be a little bit more proactive in a year like this where you haven't really played the way that you wanted to consistently throughout the season.
Hola, Steph. Juan Baraco for Salimo, Uruguay. Despite the loss, you had 37 points tonight. That was pretty special, but coming from you makes it seem like normal somehow. What goes through your mind when you hear the words that you're the best shooter in the world and you might have changed the NBA forever? Thank you.
I appreciate the compliments and the acknowledgement of my game and how that's influenced other players and just the style of play in the league and all that. And I want to keep doing it at a high level. You continue to raise expectations and shift the narrative on how you're playing. That's always a good thing, and the work that goes into it. So, gonna keep grinding and enjoying the opportunity to play at this high level.